The most difficult and obnoxious presenter I've ever worked with is James Corden.
You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
I know you think that's a picture of me kissing Sean Spicer, but in the spirit of Sean Spicer, no, it isn't.
James Corden is at it again. The obnoxious man has made headlines due to his ungodly behavior many times throughout his career. Now, directors and producers are slamming Corden for his rude behavior while relaying the incidents to their audience in quite detail. Looks like due to his terrible personality, his television career is in jeopardy. Well, we've got all the tea about the most annoying celebrity in the history of the entertainment industry. So without further ado, let's dive in. Recently, a TV director, Greg Duncan, has revealed his irritating interaction with James Corden. The director was asked for help by James' production company to record a challenge segment that was supposed to be a part of James Corden's League of Their Own show. Even though the production company alluded to the fact that the host was difficult to work with, the director took the job without a thought, as he has had his fair share of tough clients while working in the industry.
I was asked by his production company, would I be willing to direct a challenge that was going to be part of a League of Their Own show.
According to Craig, it was an unforgettable experience, and not in a good way. The television crew personnel were quite experienced in shooting food. That was also the main reason why the company requested his assistance, but unfortunately, the experience left him scarred.
Our job of directing is like how to make things look good, and there's skills and techniques, but it's important for me to know how to make food look good.
Now that we are all aware of what a director's job is, as the personnel graciously explained himself. But unfortunately for him, his years of experience did not prepare him to deal with what James Corden was bringing to the table. He explained how his expertise did not even amount to a dime in front of Corden's standoffish personality.
It actually turned out that was nonsense, as I thought it would be. It wasn't important at all.
You can clearly see how put out he was regarding his experience. Interestingly, Duncan had experience working with opera singers, so he thought lightly of the production company's advance warning. To be honest, it's quite understandable that nothing could prepare him for what James had in store for him.
I filmed the Three Tenors before, and you can't get much more of a prima donna than an opera singer.
Well, Craig's perception was soon proved entirely wrong. Before the shooting started, the company invited him to feel out how Corden did things on the set and to familiarize himself with the atmosphere. The director was colored surprised when he saw James reject the joke written by the shadow writers disrespectfully, without any regard for the writer's feelings.
He just looked at it like, that's not funny. That's not funny. But what? He was like, we have to rewrite that. We have to rewrite this.
But giving Corden the benefit of the doubt, the director chalked his harsh remarks to the possibility of having a bad day. Well, on the fateful day of the shooting, Duncan met with other actors who were very nice and chatty, as he puts it. But the mood dropped as soon as James stepped on the set.
So everyone's been really receptive, everyone's on board. And then I started noticing there's like a creeping sense of anxiety.
Duncan explained that everything was working out well until it was time to wrap up the show and they had to change the parameters to take the final shot. All the cameramen were huddled together, busy in discussion when everything went south. The director relayed word for word what the old bugger lugs did that made him stay for 45 minutes more than the scheduled time. What the F is going on here? It's obvious what you do. It's so obvious how you shoot it. You're stupid. And I'm like, he's absolutely right, guys. Let's do that. That's the best thing to do. We know what we're doing, right? At the end of the day, James did get what he wanted, but Duncan's savage response really takes the cake. The director's story has inspired fans to open about their own interactions with James Corden as well. Met him once was enough. He was having a right to go at a waitress at a restaurant in London, reduced her to tears. He even started on other people in the place before storming out. What a prima donna. No, Corden is a second-rate Ricky Gervais ripoff. Rude, obnoxious, and not in the least bit amusing. He needs to grow up and get over himself. While others believe that thanks to celebrity privileges, many people get away with things worse than James Corden. Never been a big fan of Corden, but come on, there are plenty worse people in Hollywood. People who have been able to get away with doing and saying far worse than Corden. Remember hearing about toxic work environment? James Corden is the current punch bag of the day. And most people doing the punching are at least as petty and mean as the man himself. To top it off, Mel B, an English singer and songwriter, has also called out James for his double personality. During an appearance on The Big Narsty Show, the former Spice Girl was asked by co-host Mo Gilligan, "Who is the biggest dickhead celebrity you've ever met?" In response, Mel B said, "So there's a few: James Corden, Jerry Halliwell, Jessie J, and me." Even though Mel wanted to keep the conversation on a lighter note, she clearly did not enjoy meeting James Corden. She said this when James' controversy was brought up. "I think you always have to be nice to the people that you work with, whether it be production, camera guys, sound, lighting. We all work for the same thing, so you should always be nice," and he hasn't been very nice. As you know, what goes around comes back around. It looks like the host's rude antics have taken a toll on his own career as well. The Late Late Show has been canceled by CBS after the audience refused to watch his bland comedy. The word on the street is that the rating plummeted because of James' inhumane behavior. The Deadline Hollywood reported, "Exclusive: CBS is shaking up the late night landscape by bringing back an old Comedy Central format to replace the Late Late Show with James Corden, ending the Late Late Show franchise after almost 3 decades, we have learned." The public genuinely enjoyed the show before James inherited it, so it saddens them a great deal to see such a great show burnt to ashes. It's sad that he ran the show into the ground. It was excellent with Craig Ferguson running it. I liked how he brought back the guests staying after their segment. It allows for interesting conversations between guests that you would never see interacting elsewhere. And let's not forget that this isn't the first time the affable masked Corden, carefully donned for the camera, has slept. Remember the fiasco that went down with the restaurant Balthazar? Let us refresh your memory in regard to what recently took place in that drama. After a series of pseudo-apologies, he took back every single word, claiming that he had done nothing wrong in any capacity, stating in a sit-down interview with New York Times, "I feel so zen about the whole thing because I think it's so silly. I just think it's beneath all of us. It's beneath you. It's certainly beneath your publication. I haven't done anything wrong on any level." This is exactly opposite to what James said in his own show addressing the incident. "Because I didn't shout or scream. I didn't get up out of my seat. I didn't call anyone names or use derogatory language. I've been walking around thinking that I haven't done anything wrong. But the truth is, I have made rude comments, and it was wrong. It was an unnecessary comment. It was ungracious to the server." But these standoffish remarks did not go unnoticed by the owner of the restaurant, McNally, and he took to Instagram saying, "Store him in a restaurant, teacup. I've no wish to kick a man when he's down," McNally wrote Friday, "especially one who's worth $100 million. But when James Corden said in yesterday's New York Times that he hadn't done anything wrong on any level, was he joking, or was he denying being abusive to my servers? Whatever Corden meant, his implication was clear: he didn't do it." In addition to this, McNally explained that his staff had nothing to gain by lying about the incidents, but Corden did. "I wish James Corden would live up to his almighty initials and come clean." Well, a fan graciously summed up James Corden's personality by saying, "Those that know him or had the displeasure of sharing a room with him know. He is absolutely the most self-absorbed person in the world. Everything he does is written by somebody else. Everything that happens on his shows is planned with the guests. He absolutely cannot allow anyone to outshine him in any way. It's actually cringeworthy how hard he tries in singing when the actual singer's there too." That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.